People always talk about how small and full frame the Sony A7 is. Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, and the 5D Mark III and the 800, people say, oh, just buy full frame, not anything else.
Yeah, well, I can get bigger than full frame.
Yeah, digital Hasselblad.
But if you really want a compact medium format, there's only one way to go.
Oh, get film! Oh,
That's why we've come to Film Me,
yeah.
which is the only place to come.
The Sony A7R costs around 2,000 US bucks. Let's see what bigger formats we can get for around the same price.
Can I sit there, actually?
What?
Well, I knew what camera I wanted already.
That's my camera.
Okay. Okay, expand.
Yep. Larger than full frame. Full frame.
Locke, however, acted like he'd never seen a camera before.
What? That's two viewfinder, one for focusing and one for framing. This is probably too heavy and
Yes, it's too heavy for you.
for anything. Fuji 645. This is autofocus. Oh, you got A mode, M mode,
Perfect.
P mode. Oh, manual focus.
Yeah.
You can even manual focus.
Let's go.
Makina 67.
I think you should take this just because it sounds like Mankini.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Yep. You should go for that then.
Oh, this one got a bright viewfinder, really smooth focusing ring, and full manual, A mode and exposure compensation. It's great. This one's full manual. This one's full auto. Autofocus.
Have the best of both worlds then.
This is cool though.
Yeah, just
Well, maybe this one is more best of both worlds,
yeah. Great.
like you said.
Yes, like I said quite some time ago.
And for film, of course, we go for the best of the best in Hong Kong.
Yep.
Well, probably in the world, because Cecilia is the
Film guru.
world record holder of a lot of film.
I don't think that's the title of the record.
For the record, the Guinness World Record Cecilia holds is for having the largest amount of unprocessed film, 1,250 as of June 2012.
This one for you.
Okay, looks good.
And this for you.
Perfect. Love black and white.
Yeah. This is the new formula of the Rollei black and white, and then you can shoot in the 400 ISO. Perfect in the rainy day, thunderstorm.
Fantastic.
And
ISO 800.
ISO 800, very sharp and colorful, and then you can shoot in the thunderstorm.
Yeah.
The car and everyone is moving fast in the rainy day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Later that day, however, the torrential rain wasn't torrential anymore.
You want bigger than full frame? You got it. This is 2 times bigger than full frame because it has one frame there and another frame to combine to make a panoramic picture. And this Hasselblad is quite different to the other stuff that they do, medium format cameras. You could compare it to Hasselblad Lunas, rebranded Sony products, whereas this is very similar to a Fuji, in fact.
The camera was made by Fujifilm and it was sold in Japan as a Fujifilm TX1 and TX2 with a slightly different colour.
The benefit of this is that you can use 35mm film instead of having to use medium format, which some people don't understand how to use and don't want to go to the hassle of developing medium format. So this is convenient. But why would you have a panoramic camera when you can have that on your iPhone or the D3300? Easy panorama. Well, this is quite a special camera for a special purpose. And this was at a time when you're just shooting film. So if you wanted to do panoramas, this is quite a unique camera. This is a rangefinder camera, so it's a bit like a Leica. You have to use this to focus. You've got a patch in the center, which you have to line. That's where you know you get focus. Well, the benefit of this is that the camera is tiny-ish. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just crop a panorama from a digital file. Seeing in panorama is quite a bit different. A shot that looks interesting in 3x2 or 4x3 doesn't always work in a panorama. Oh, that light.
Full frame, this is medium format, 120 frame. Because normally you think of medium format, you think of those Autoblack, really big ones. But this is, compare this to 5D Mark III. Not actually pocketable, but amazingly small for 120 frame camera.
Yep, we both have a Fujifilm camera. Locke's camera might look old, but it's just a few years new.
It is also a rangefinder camera. So without autofocus, I think I would just pre-focus. Well, first I pick a ISO 800 because this morning it was bloody heavy rain, but now the sun's come out. So I have no choice but to use f8. Having f3.5 is nice, but I can't use it. But I like the display inside too. When you half press, if you're in A mode, it will display what shutter speed it have chosen for you. If you pick your shutter speed, it will display the shutter speed you have chosen inside the viewfinder, as well as the shutter speed it recommends you to use.
The viewfinder of the GF670 is so massive-like, it has its own gravitational pull. The viewfinder of the X-Pan is more letterbox-like, although it sort of makes me think in a cinematic kind of way when framing.
If you don't like the panoramic mode, you can always switch it to standard 3x2 aspect ratio. But what's the point of doing that? I mean, that's like getting a girlfriend and finding out you don't actually like girls that much. One thing that strikes you about this camera is that it's so easy to use. Don't need to wind the film on. Auto wind. It's got aperture priority. Don't need to bother exposure. One thing you have to bear in mind is that the lens is not that fast. It's an f4 maximum aperture on the standard lens.
Then we bumped into a buddy! TV buddy!
Philip Bloom! Let me have a selfie with Philip Bloom.
Philip Bloom asleep. Oh, and he's awake.
That's how famous our feature photographer are. What's that helmet?
It's Daft Punk.
High tech. Yeah.
It's Daft Punk and the third one. Beheaded.
The electronic leaf shutter is ridiculously quiet with the GF670 without any awful smell to go with it. Being stuck with ISO 800 film in this camera, Locke decided to go to the dark side to get some wide open action.
This is released on 2008. 2008, and they still make a new medium format film camera. I mean, this is the best toy for a photographer, just like X100, X Pro 1, but it's really just a fantastic toy.
The build quality of this is pretty good. It's not up to Leica standards, but this is solid stuff. But this is actually pretty neat.
This is the smallest branch of KFC in the world. Hong Kong is quite suited to panoramic shooting. It's quite a dense city with lots of detail in a small space. I've wanted an X-Pan for a long time, and I still do after using it.
Well, this is probably the best part of my job. I mean, got to try out different cameras, and it's so much different than digital photography. Now, this is a lofty top tip. If you are thinking of the best Christmas present to a photographer who have everything, 5D Mark III, 1DX, D4S.
Certainly both cameras are not cheap, but they are both incredibly easy to use cameras, even if you haven't used film cameras before. The Fujifilm GF670 is one of the most enjoyable medium format cameras to carry around, and is a pleasant introduction to a format larger than 135. The X-Pan is quite a niche camera. Although you can shoot in 3x2, the fun of shooting in panoramic, looking and framing things in a way you won't usually think it is, refreshing.